are the worst of the worst. Nobody picked the Browns.
That's why I
Deshaun
thought you
Watson
guys.
quit.
Yeah, they're bad too. They're bad too.
You still think they have a chance if he decides to get some confidence and change his attitude?
I don't see it, Britt. I don't see
Yeah,
it. He
yeah,
just
but
looks
go
so
ahead.
out of sorts right now.
Yeah.
He just looks so bad right now. And again, I know K Walk made the point last night too that it's not all on him, right? It's never all on the quarterback.
Right.
But man, it looks bad right now, Britt. I don't know. Like, I think he's just dealing with a lot. And when you have such like a public fall from grace, because it's not like DeShaun Watson was just like another run-of-the-mill guy in the NFL. His reputation was outstanding. Like, he was known here in Georgia as a guy that was involved in the church and the community and all kinds of things. And then when you have like such a public fall from grace, I just think that's hard to come back from. So
I mean,
he's dealing with a lot. I don't know, Britt. I don't know if he ever gets back to what he was.
He was just thinking with the wrong Woody Johnson. So I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, y'all. All right, let me be serious. I'm just kidding.
That's Britt saying that, not us guys. That's her saying that.
No, I'm not going to speak too much on it because the way my team is playing and that's who they play next. If the Eagles lose to the Browns, then I'm just going to shut myself down from the show, period. And it's very much so a possibility of how they've been playing lately. So I'm not going to say too much crazy stuff this week, but no, yeah, I don't know. Yes, you could have a fall from grace. You could have that fall, but it's up to him to turn it around.
Yeah.
It's up to you to make up for that, to redeem yourself. It's called redemption for a reason. Granted, I don't agree with none of the things that he did. I'm still not sure what the heck he did, right? Like, I know what he did, guys, but I'm just saying.
Gotcha.
And he's not innocent in this at all. But that doesn't mean you don't get a second chance, right? At life or whatever it might be.
Whatever.
But again, that's up to him. He turns his story around. Nobody else. I can't do it. His parents can't do it. Nobody knows he can't do it. He has to change his story. So ultimately, that falls on DeShaun Watson. But how do you guys feel about how he walked out of that huddle? Because it literally looked like he gave up. He did give up.
Yeah, I just think that he hit his breaking point, Britt. I think he knows what's going on with that organization and that team. And I always say he doesn't have the best two offensive tackles, or his best two offensive tackles. They're their best two offensive tackles in there, and they're just not able to, to protect him in that sense. And I think that one particular penalty, what I got from that is a guy that hit his breaking point, and he knew that he's playing for a team that's not playing with him. Yeah, if you know what I mean. He's playing for a team that's not playing for him. And it's hard for that guy because we mentioned everything that's going on off the field. Then he's got to deal with the contract. Jay, you mentioned that last night, how much that guaranteed money he has there. He has to live up to that again, expectation. That expectation again, and it puts so much on you. Especially being a quarterback in the NFL, it's this already, that much pressure to be put on you, and then you got to deal with stuff off the field as well. So when you deal with that, and you're looking at around in a team, and you're looking at in the face of these guys, and you look at them, and that they're not playing for you, they're not protecting you. He said, "I'm not going back out there if these guys are going to have these 300-pound dudes just pound on me. I'm not doing that." It's called self-preservation. I mean, it's understandable. And I just think that he hit his breaking point, and rightfully so, and understandably so. Maybe he has to go seek some, therapy. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, everyone has their breaking point, man. And I think that DeShaun hit his on Sunday.
Well, to me, he should have been hit his breaking point.
Well, it's hard to say that, but because he wants to fight through that, and it's just a man who loves the game, and he wants to. And you mentioned the second chance. He wants to prove himself that he's not the guy that everyone's pounding on him. He wants to show that I'm a different guy. I'm not that guy. That's why I changed. Change environments, change atmospheres. I'm here now, and trying to show that I'm not the same guy I was in Houston. I know you guys gave me this money because you believed in me. Now all of a sudden you
Right.
stop believing in me. Yeah, I did get hurt, but that it was rightfully so. I had to get surgery and all that. So I'm protecting DY because DY's my guy, man. I'm a DY guy, and just like I feel like Aaron Rodgers, I feel the total opposite about DY because that's my guy. I ride or die for DY all day long.
Look, I'm gonna sit and say it's up to him to change it. Quitting doesn't you don't change that story by quitting.
You're gonna go out there.
I understand. I understand you got breaking points.
I'm not doing it. But Brett, you're gonna go out there and
he has
not
to change how his team, how his so-called brothers look at him. He has to change that.
How? What does he have to do, Brett? What can he
got to figure it out? That's not up for me to figure out. You got to figure that out. Quitting on him ain't going to do it.
He hasn't done it already. My thing is, what makes you think he hasn't done it already?
What makes you think that he has?
Because he's out there balling when no one's protecting him.
He getting paid for that.
All right, then. He's going out there and doing. He's earning his contract. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
There's a lot of
more does he have to do?
Who cannot stand their co-workers, but because
if he stays in there and gets killed, if he stays in there and gets killed, is that showing that he's changed?
I'm not saying that. That's not what I mean by proving to your brothers. That's not what I mean by that. What I mean by it is you have to figure out this locker room situation because remember, K-Walk, we had a conversation.
I think he did, and that's why he walked up the field. He did figure it out. He figured it out.
I'm gonna let you have that
for him anymore. That's all I ain't getting out.
And maybe they not. I don't know. But I don't think they were ever really into him being their quarterback from the very beginning. And that's just from my opinion because of how they already looked at him. Right. But any locker room that you walk into, I think they're still going to look at him in a similar light because of the situation that he went through. You got to think a lot of these guys in here, they got daughters, they got mothers, they got sisters. That's going to impact you in whatever locker room that you walk into. So you have to somehow change that story with your brothers. I don't know how he's going to do it. I don't know how he's going to do it. I'm not sure. I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve a second chance, but you can't quit. You can't walk out on him. You can't start there. Unfortunately, I get what you're saying, K-Walk. I'm not even saying I disagree.
They quit on him first, Brett. They quit on him first.
But I don't think they ever. I don't think.
Brett, $250 million guaranteed
to quit with them. No, that's the front office gave you that. Okay. The front office gave you that. The players did not give you that. That's what I'm saying.
So if the organization believes in him and give him $250 million, why shouldn't they believe in him?
The players,
you're telling me he should have turned that down? Yeah. Why shouldn't they believe him if the organization is willing to give him $250 million?
Okay, well, listen to what I'm saying.
I hear you.
Just because the organization gives you money, right? The organization might give me money, right? That doesn't mean the players that I play with who are supposed to be like my brothers, right? That's what they call the football, your locker room. They're your brothers. That doesn't mean they're going to have your back. I don't think they ever had his back.
So what can
That's just my opinion. What did he do? It's in the public eye.
What can he do?
He has to figure that out. I don't know. Me personally, I don't know. That's something that he has to figure out. That's something that he has to
let me ask you, if you were in that situation, what would you do?
First of all, I would never be in that situation.
I know, I understand that, but I'm saying my point. I get that. We all know that. I know.
That's for real.
That should go without saying, but I'm just saying, if you were in a situation where you made a mistake, I'm not saying it's crucial as that, and you come to an organization and they believe in you, they give you a second chance, but the people that you're working with say, okay, well, I don't believe in you. I don't believe this. What can you possibly do when the company believed in you? And you go out there and you bust your butt for them and their company.
Okay, well, we don't know, but I can tell you one thing. I have yet to hear a Browns player stand up for this man since he's been there. I've never heard any of his teammates stand up for him. Not one time. Me personally. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody can bring it up. Maybe they could say Denzel Ward or Myles Garrett or whoever.
I don't think he needs anybody.
Amari Cooper can do that. I've never heard anybody stand up for him. So if you never had
that being said,
their
Brett,
attention since then.
So if no one's standing up for him and you're saying, I don't know if you're saying it's okay or not for them not to stand up with him. So why are you against him quitting and walking off if he knows they don't have his back?
Because he created it. I can't.
Oh my God! But he's in a situation not there though.
But K-Walk, listen to what I'm saying. It's unfortunate that what you do, the actions that you did, that he did, is going to impact how people view him, even your own teammates. Even your own
he's
teammates.
supposed to
I don't
just
think
sit out there and get his ass
I'm
just
not
handed
I'm
to him
not
and
saying
play after
that's
play,
not what I'm
play after
that's not
play, and say, "I'm here
I'm
for
not
you
saying
guys."
that neither.
No one's helping
I'm not
him
saying
out, and his
look,
shoulder
I wonder
broken.
if that conversation, and it may not be on DeShaun Watson to have that conversation. I'm not sure. I wonder if that conversation ever occurred even with his so-called teammates. I'm not sure. But I'm gonna be honest with you. If a guy walks into my locker room, a woman, I guess you could say, I'm not gonna be in the locker room with a guy,
I got what you're saying.
but that and you did what you did, I'm gonna look at you some type of way, right? Not I'm gonna try not to because we ain't supposed to judge people, but I'm gonna sit there and be like, yo, that could have been my sister, that could have been my mother, my daughter, whatever it may be. These guys have families, so they could have looked at him some type of way. I don't know if that was ever talked about, and that could potentially impact how his teammates ride for him. Like, your teammate's supposed to have your back regardless. When I see DeShaun Watson gets knocked down, sometimes a teammate may come up and get him, or he just gotta get up off and dust his stuff off. And that's been like that since he's been there. I just never felt like they really had, I don't know. But we'll see what happens. I took way too long on this on this subject,
Nah, I
and
mean
we'll probably be here for a
I think
while.
I liked it, yeah, but yeah, I
Yeah,
think he
but
did the
I
right
think
thing.
that
I'm not,
The only let me
but
just
I
say
think
let me
go
say
ahead.
one thing about this, Brick, because K Walk, you laid out a passionate argument,
Yeah,
and I
you
because
did.
trust me, I didn't see that side of it at all before we came on the show, but
Mhm.
I do understand where you're coming from. But the only thing I'll say, K Walk, and you know this because you've been in locker rooms, like like there's always a few guys in the locker room. I'm sure you can think back to your teams and you just look at a
yes,
dude and you're like, I don't mess with that dude. Like
yeah,
I don't
Right.
mess with
yeah.
that. Like there's always a few,
Mhm.
and maybe that's who he is in Cleveland. But here's the only thing I'll say about walking off, and I'm still not exactly sure what even happened in that situation. I don't know if he quit, if he didn't. Like I still don't know what happened. But if he did just walk off, I just don't think that's the answer because number one, at
Right.
the end of the day, like whether you like it or not, whether your teammates like you or not, whether you're taking a beating or not, like whatever the case may be, football is the ultimate tighten up your chin strap and keep playing kind of game. Like there just isn't any quitting in football. And for him to walk off, if that's what happened, it just goes against everything that the culture of football actually is. Like there's just no quitting. Like it's always get back up, buckle up your chin strap and do it again. So that's what surprised me about the whole situation is that you just don't ever see it in a sport that is all about just being tough. So that's just what surprised me about it. But K Walk, I didn't think
Mhm.
about all the things that you were saying before. I definitely see where you're coming from, but at the end of the day, it's his job to be the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, and he's being paid extremely well to do it. So even on a bad day at the office, you don't just get to walk out. That's all I would say about this.
He has PTO. He could take a PTO.
You could take a PTO.
He
You could take a
PTO.
half day.
Half
You
day.
put
He's
in a
not feeling
you put
too
in a
well.
half day.
I'm
You
having
put
a
in half
headache. I got a headache right now. I'm gonna take the rest of the day off.